Hi, welcome back to another episode of the Great Bubble KE. It's Mother's Day weekend. Happy Mother's Day. For this episode, we chose, in honor of Mother's Day, to introduce mother daughter relationships, and we started with me and my mom. And we decided to just have candid conversation. We asked each other questions about our relationship and how it has evolved over time. It's going to be in a 2 or 3 part series. I'm not quite sure, depending on how it edits. We recorded it over Zoom because we live quite far from each other, and it just there's not much we could do about it. So if you see someone freeze, just excuse us for that. Because we just wanted it to be raw and candid. We didn't want to have retakes of this conversation. I hope it's enlightening, and I hope it's as heartwarming to you as it was to me to have this conversation with my mother. Enjoy. Mwah.
Hey, hallelujah. Yeah.
Question number one. How did you find out that you were pregnant with me, and how did that make you feel?
So I found out from when I started experiencing those pregnancy symptoms like nausea and I was vomiting a lot the first few months, actually the first month. And also I could tell my body is not the same. So I went for a pregnancy test. And the test was positive. I was very excited about it because I really looked forward to having a baby. It was very exciting. And when I came back home, I told your father, we never used to live together then because he was working outside Nairobi. I was in Nairobi alone. So I called and I told him that I am pregnant. He was also very excited about it.
Oh, were you in those times? Were you able to tell if it's a boy or a girl before the child?
No. I wasn't able to tell whether it's a boy or a girl until the baby was born.
Oh, but did you have any hopes? What did you want?
I was so prepared for a girl, apparently. I was really, really prepared for a girl.
Okay.
So when the baby came out, I even had names and consulted widely if it is a girl, what do we do? It was like I was so positive it would be a girl. And I think it's simply because I could picture this girl and how I'll dress the girl and how I'll hold the hands and how she will be a beautiful baby girl. And so my world was surrounded by a baby girl, and you can imagine the joy when I got to know actually it's a baby girl.
Oh, that's sweet. I hope I lived up to
Ah.
expectations.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, you go. Ask.
So for me, I'll ask you, um, what do you like the most about our relationship?
I like how we are able to have laughs and talk, and that we enjoy each other's company. That I consider you as a friend as well. Um, I think a lot of people who hear us talk are quite surprised at how free and open we are with one another. And I also like how our relationship has evolved because it wasn't always like this. There's a time we had a rough patch, but I like that we were able to move past that to a point where now we are able to express ourselves with each other better, and we realize that we want the best for one another, and that we're cool, we're buddies. Yeah.
Okay.
And you,
Right.
what do you like about our relationship?
Well, for me, I would say it's something similar to what you said. And especially after your dad passed on, you've become like a confidant that I ran ideas through. We run through ideas through together before I implement, and that makes it very easy for me. And I know if I'm stressed about something, I have a friend to talk to about. And when I share with you, I know I'll get honest opinion, whether it is something good or bad, and you'll be planted to tell me, no, now here you've been silly, and here I think it is okay. Um, Also, the fact that actually you are a very good listener. I have talked to people about some of the things, and I realize that they don't listen. They don't hear me. They hear themselves and tell me what they think, as opposed to being able to listen to me from my point of reference. And you do that very well, and I love that. I really love being listened to and being understood from where I am, even if it is something stupid.
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah, I understand the value of that because so it's also something that I really I really like being listened to and being heard for what I'm saying and not from what you think I'm trying to say. So yeah, I'm glad I am that for you. Question
Yeah.
number 2.
Right.
What do we have in common that you like the most?
I think it is the ability to how do I put it? You don't keep anger for a long time. You can get very mad, but you can get very mad, or both of us can get very mad, or really get disappointed with people, but we are able to drop it, to go through it, to sort of synthesize it and move on and move on. And the same person that you felt like you wanted to hack with a panga, the following day you are able to say hello and that is done and gone. And I really, I've seen that in you, and I know I have a bit of it. And I love it most because then it doesn't keep me bitter, or it doesn't keep us bitter over things. Yeah. Right.
Cool. Okay.
Mm. Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's my turn
Your turn. Let me
to
switch on
ask.
the fan. I'm burning. Uh-huh. Okay.
Okay, I just wanted to find out from you, is there anything you have had a hard time talking to me about?
Now, not really. I think at this point, I am comfortable sharing things with you and having conversations with you. Only that sometimes I realize I need to dial back a bit in recognizing that even though we have a pretty open relationship, you're still my mom. And considering that we are Africans, there are conversations that we'll discuss, but kuna mali haitafika. So sex, for example, we'll have conversations around sex, especially because you're in the same field of gender-based violence. So for us, having conversations about sex isn't weird, but recognizing that you're my mom, there are things I may not tell you directly. I don't know if that would, I don't know. Maybe it's because we haven't really gotten that deep into it. I'm sure we would be able to at some point, but right now we're still like this. Like I'm not at 100% there yet.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay. I hear you.
you hear me?
Yeah.
Ukianza kuanalyze,
I think it is also same.
uh,
I think it is also the same with me. They are, as much as they share a lot, not that I hold back, but I feel like sometimes I overwhelm you with things that I shouldn't be overwhelming you with, and especially on things that are supposed to be on the spousal subsystem. And since my spouse is not there, I share them with you, and later on I'm like, I think I'm overwhelming this girl with things that actually clearly are not her responsibility. But since I don't have anyone else that I trust so much, then I find myself doing it over and over again. I don't know how that has actually made you feel over time, or whether you've realized that so sometimes I pick you from the child subsystem and bring you to the spouse. The spousal subsystem, and I want to reason with you at your father's level. And when we do it, I really enjoy it, but sometimes I'm like, oh, maybe I'm overwhelming you with things that I shouldn't be overwhelming you with. I don't know.
I don't feel overwhelmed. I am actually glad that you feel comfortable enough with me to talk to me about such things. And I feel honored actually and privileged that you do talk to me about things that bother you or that you're worried about or about your plans and things like that. I feel happy that I may not be able to fill dad's shoes, but I'm happy that I am available for you as an outlet in that sense. So it's something that I am happy to do. I know one of the things, also, if I'm going to be completely honest with you, is I would rather it be me than some random person out there, um, rather than, some guy out there that I know it's not in my place, but I don't know. I think as your child, I would I didn't realize it, but I am very protective of you. So I am very cautious of the people that you have around you. And sometimes I really want to check who is this and what is their motive. And I also feel now in the other sense that am I overstepping? Because she's a grown woman, she's lived a longer life, she's obviously wiser than I am. But I still feel like, no, I still, I want to and be sure that these people are coming correct. Otherwise, I'm going to fight someone. I would rather it be me.
You want to be my mother?
Don't know it. Yes. Yeah. I also feel like sometimes am I trying to mother you? You get. I think sometimes
Yeah.
at a certain age, you start to now look at your parent, and you're the one who's now telling them, here, sometimes you forget, like it's like a different version of teenagehood where you think you know so much. Yeah, so that's where we are. But we're navigating.
I've seen you do that.
I can't help myself. I'm learning. Yeah.
Okay, all right. But it is okay. It's okay because not many other people will be very honest. The fact that you're able to look at such things and say, here, I think you have to be careful here. I think it is very important because it actually helps me to check on why is this person saying this, and I know I have the ability, or I will not just dismiss because this is my child saying. I believe that every person has they have some contribution towards my life, and therefore when you say it, I will not completely brush it off. I'll want to check to check myself with what you have said, and see whether what direction to really take. So I also really appreciate that bit.
Okay. And it comes from a place of love, honestly. It does.
Yes, I agree. You take up the parental role that like you compared it to a teenage who thinks knows very much, but also it's like a reverse role that a mother will want to protect the teenage girl, not because, I mean, out of love, to make sure that she becomes a better person. I think you've also taken up that, and now have become your teenage daughter that you would want to check and ensure that things are not going wrong. And I think especially on areas of relationship, because for me now it's like I'm sort of going back into relationships. And yeah, you've really helped me to check myself a lot. Yeah,
Okay.
right.
And I wish you all the best in that area.
The area of look.
Of looking, right? It's not easy.
Let me tell you, it is the most difficult thing.
It is.
I'm almost giving up.
It is.
It's very difficult.
Yeah.
It is more difficult for older people like us than it is even for you. But anyway, if God brings one person along, it's okay. But I'm almost giving up on that area, and imagining that I can settle down on my own and adapt a small child to be around me all the time to keep me busy. It's my turn now to ask another question. Yeah. If I could give you anything in the world, what it would be happiness, and especially in your marriage life. That thing bothers me. I'm like,